Apollo 10 enters lunar orbit. As they pass around the far side of the moon, the astronauts lose all contact with Earth.
It's about an hour on the backside of the moon, away from Earth, where you lose radio contact.
During this hour, the astronauts are on their own. No one on Earth can see or hear them. When they emerge, they seem to have survived their voyage around the far side unscathed.
Houston, you can tell the world that we have arrived.
As far as anyone on Earth knows, this mission is going like clockwork. Everything according to plan. There's nothing irregular going on at all.
But nearly 4 decades later, lost recordings emerge revealing an unsettling incident on the far side of the moon.
There are recorders that record whatever's going on the backside, and then you do a data dump when you come around the front side. And Houston or Mission Control then can see what happened when you were around the backside.
After the NASA astronauts return to Earth,
Roger, Houston, we are returning to the Earth. Over.
NASA transcribes the tapes, then buries them in the archives without comment.
These conversations are recorded in the transcripts, but those transcripts were classified.
NASA would withhold information from the public if they thought it was in the public's best interest.
Even after declassification, the transcripts lay undiscovered in the NASA archives until 2008.
Finding record of this conversation is like finding a needle in a haystack. It takes years to come to light.
The tapes contain recordings of strange, otherworldly music coming through the Apollo module's radio. The conversations that follow the sounds makes it clear they are unlike anything the astronauts have ever heard.
That music even sounds outer spacey, doesn't it? Do you hear that? That whistling sound?
In their headsets, it sounded like a woo-woo kind of a noise.
Sounds like, outer space-type music.
If I were to hear something back there, the first thing probably would freak me out.
Boy, that sure is weird music.
Over the course of an hour, they mention it multiple times. This is not just some anomaly. This is something that they're all really hearing, and it's really weird.
After almost an hour of transmission, the sound stops.
Boy, it got quiet, didn't it?
Before they re-enter radio contact with Earth, the astronauts discuss whether to report their experience to Mission Control.
Please don't believe it. No, buddy. Shall we tell him, buddy? I don't know. We ought to think about it.
The Apollo 10 sounds remain a mystery for decades, until another NASA probe uncovers a possible clue to their nature.
The Cassini spacecraft picked up broadcasts like this from Saturn.
These noises, some of them are really weird. They even sound, under some conditions, like strange alien speech.
For the sounds from Saturn, there is a scientific explanation.
These are caused by charged particles moving through Saturn's magnetic environment.
Imagine being on the backside of the moon, all alone, away from the Earth, and hearing these kinds of sounds. I can understand how they could have been unnerved.
But the unsettling noises the Apollo 10 astronauts heard could not be caused by magnetic field.
The moon doesn't have an atmosphere or a magnetic field, so we wouldn't expect it to be making any transmissions that could be picked up on a radio.
Since the sounds can't be from the moon, NASA's radio technicians come up with their own theory.
The radios in the two spacecraft were interfering with each other. They were on VHF, and there was a bit of radio interference, and that was the source of the sound.
But Apollo astronaut Al Warden doesn't agree with the radio theory.
The Apollo 10 crew is very used to the kind of noise that they should be hearing. Logic tells me that if there was something recorded on there, then there was something there.
Well, I don't know what the hell that was, babe.
The Apollo 10 astronauts never publicly discussed what they heard.
If you're an astronaut and you start hearing these strange sounds, what are you going to do? They were all absolutely petrified of being grounded if there was even the slightest question mark over their state of mind. So what did? They stayed silent.
To date, the origin of the noises mentioned in the Apollo 10 recordings remains a mystery.
I suspect there's a very, very clear cause of what they heard on Apollo 10, which maybe we haven't uncovered yet. I just think we don't understand it.